So you're thinking about buying a home and moving to Oxnard. Well, we're sure you have a lot of questions. Some of the top ones we've heard are, is this the right time to buy? Or why should I move to Oxnard? Or when is that big crash going to happen so we can buy a home really cheap?
I'm Bart.
And I'm Keziah.
And we're real estate agents living in Ventura County. If you're thinking of moving here, give us a call. We'll actually pay you a rebate off of our commission at closing to help with closing costs.
No, really?
Yeah, it is awesome.
You're going to want to stay to the end of this video where we're going to be addressing with data if this is the right time to move.
Now we're going to tell you the top 5 reasons we hear from buyers why they want to move here. Number 1, they want to move here because this is an affordable coastal area. It's constantly picked as one of the most affordable coastal cities in Southern California.
Now, that's not saying that it's going to be as cheap as some inland city. However, you're going to get a bigger home for your money here and closer to the ocean.
Yeah, it's going to be way more affordable here than even nearby Ventura. And on top of that, we hear all the time from people when they come here that they go, wow, this is a hidden gem.
Because it is.
Yeah, it's so beautiful.
Number 2, it is slower paced. We're showing people homes in Ventura and we go over on Victoria through the agriculture and it's just like a big exhale. It is so much calmer as you come over here.
In particular in the coastal areas, if you're within roughly a 10-minute drive to the beach or the Channel Islands harbor, it's going to be way slower, have more of a smaller town feel.
Now, Oxnard is actually the largest city in all of Ventura County, and so there are sections that are a little faster paced, but it's still nothing compared to Ventura when it's the tourist season, or LA, or even Santa Barbara.
The third big thing we hear from people is they are so excited there is a Whole Foods here.
Right.
And there's also a variety of large national chain stores as well. There's great shopping in Oxnard.
There's not just that, like the collections where everybody is coming over to go shopping, but there's also downtown a lot of local stores and restaurants and some amazing seafood restaurants over by the harbor.
And one of my favorite things is the farmers markets. You have great local produce here. One of our favorite markets is on Sundays at the Channel Islands harbor, where you just have tons of locally grown fruits and vegetables and a variety of other products as well. It's really fun. It's a really fun event.
And Bart's not going to tell you this, so I will. His favorite coffee is there. So every week, nonstop, he is over at the farmer's market, over at the Channel Islands, picking up his roasted coffee.
But they don't have any chai, so that is a bummer.
Well, yeah. We can only wait and wish.
So there's a good opportunity there if you're, want to open a market.
And of course, the weather. You cannot think of Southern California without the weather. However, we are having buyers giving us a call from Palm Springs saying they want to move over here because it's getting so hot that it's not livable.
And even Northern California, we're hearing that from people there.
Oh yeah, definitely. And so people are coming here because Oxnard is between like 50 to 80 degrees. I like to say that you live in Oxnard, you have long sleeves, you go over to Camarillo, you have short sleeves, then you go to Thousand Oaks and you have a tank top, and then Ojai, I guess clothing is optional.
Yeah, people are driving over here in the summer all the time from Los Angeles or basically places inland where it gets really hot, and they're coming here for a day or two just to cool off.
Only those that are in the know like you, because there really aren't a lot of tourists here.
But to keep it totally real with you too, in the winter here, I feel it does get cold. It gets damp, it gets cold and windy, and you'll be glad you have a working furnace.
But compared to like Colorado,
where we came from originally,
where it was negative and all the way up to 110, I mean, really, you're in paradise.
Yeah, there's nothing that, we really should whine about too much, but we will still. And the 5th big reason we hear people want to move here is they feel it's safer for fire and also flood danger from rain. In particular, because this is a flatter area. When we had the historic rains last winter, Ventura was impacted by that with some flooding, and it's also...
Okay, so you're on where the new construction is on their main street, and they would show that the water was like a little river going into some of those condos where you have the parking garage.
Yeah, and there's neighborhoods there that back up into the foothills, so there is increased fire risk. We don't have mountains here in Oxnard or hiking. Flatter areas, so there is lower fire danger and for that reason as well, flood damage from rain.
There are so many reasons people want to move to Oxnard that we can't name them all. But give us a call or shoot us over a text and we'll set up a time to take you on a tour so you can see why we love it here and why you would too.
Now let's go over, is it a good time to buy in Oxnard? One of our favorite lenders we work with likes to say, you marry the home, not the rate. So that's one thing to consider. You could buy a home now, and when interest rates come down, you can always refinance to get that lower payment.
Now we're gonna delve into the data, my favorite thing. So come along with us and let's look at the chart. Lately in the news, there has been a lot of speculation and talking about what has happened with the housing market and which markets are plummeting and which ones are doing really well. Just the other day, the California Association of Realtors put out this statement. Locally, Ventura County buyers saw the biggest month-to-month price drop, with homes that are selling for 6.6% less in October than they were in September. The average single-family home now costs just under $900,000 in Ventura County. I was shocked because all of the research I've been doing has not shown that whatsoever. At the same time, Redfin put out this. What is the housing market like in Ventura County today? In October 2023, Ventura County home prices were up 8.8% compared to last year, selling for the median price of $850,000. So, which one is correct? Well, what's surprising is that they both are, depending on what data you're looking at. Ventura County is always known for beating at its own drum. Now, the reason for that is there is limited amount of housing on the market. But what skews it more than anything is you have like Santa Paula, which is a small little town, versus Westlake Village, which is also small but has multi-million-dollar homes. So if you have more homes selling in Santa Paula versus Westlake Village, it's going to look like the market has plummeted. Also, these don't take into account of condos versus detached homes. So we're going to take a look at just Oxnard and just single-family homes for this. Most people have heard the saying that the best time to buy a home was 20 years ago, and the second best time to buy a home is now. If you look at this data, you can see that there's a steady increase. You'll see little dips up and down, and that's because, again, you're going to have homes that are selling on the beach versus homes that are selling further away from the beach that haven't been remodeled versus new construction. So it's normal to see little dips when the interest rates really hit a high. There was a steady decline, and when I was really looking at comparable homes, so what a home would sell for that looked exactly like another home but sold at a different time, the big drop really happened out of nowhere in November of 2022. And then you had that winter dip, and then it went up again in the summer, which is normal. You tend to have a lot more homes coming on the market and people looking to buy in the summer versus when school starts in September, October, and definitely the holidays when there aren't as many buyers or sellers. So what does that really mean? While there isn't a crystal ball, the data is showing for over 10 years that the market is still steadily increasing. So much so that 10 years ago, the average home in Oxnard sold for $300,000 versus the average home right now, which is in the high 700s. Okay, so now we've established that Oxnard's market is definitely increasing yearly. Is it a good time to buy? Well, that depends on your finances. If you're thinking about buying a home within the next year or two, you might want to look at, can you afford to purchase it now? Let's put it in mathematical terms right now. You're looking to purchase an average home about $700,000 here, and you put 5% down, which is $35,000. Your loan would be for $665,000. We're not including taxes, insurance, or mortgage insurance here. It's just straight the home, okay? Your average monthly payment would be $4,650. Let's take a conservative 6.6% increase in value per year here. So that would mean that next year, the same home would be selling for $746,000 with a 5% down of $37,310 with a loan of $708,890. and an interest rate of 6.5%, which is what they said might be happening in 2024. Your monthly payment would be $4,481. You would be paying more per month with this 7.5% home, which averages out to be around $2,000 more a year. However, your home has increased in value by around $46,000. You're not getting that $46,000 back. For me, I don't know, $2,000 versus $46,000, it's worth having that higher rate for a year or two so that then I'm not paying that extra money within a year. Is it the right time to buy a home? If you know you're wanting to purchase a home within the next year or two, and you know you can afford it, the math doesn't lie. So you decide what's right for you, but for me, if I was purchasing a home, I would choose now rather than later. So for the right person, it is the right time to buy.
Those were just some of the top reasons people say they want to move to Oxnard. There is so much to know about this area, so give us a call. I'll put links to our website in the Show More section of this video so you can find all the great benefits there are when you work with us.